Paris, chérie, mon beau Paris, c'est toujours toi que j'aime.
Hello and welcome to Paris Set Me Free, Paris Photo Quiz. This is the answer to quiz number 6 and a new quiz number 7. This is where we look at a picture which I've taken in Paris and you have to try and work out where it is, what it is, or even why it is. Now this was number 6. If you can have a look at this one, I called it Jolly Good Old Chap, and you can see that there's a young gentleman. Well, yeah, looks like a young man walking in a rather Mr. Bean style, I think, past a shop. And the name of the shop is pretty fuzzy, so it was slightly difficult to see. But if you knew this shop sign and you can just about guess what that was, plus there was a clue in the sort of stature of the guy, then you might get what it was. And it was taken from inside a bar, as you can see, so there was a bit of rather nice oblong-y, off-centre parallelogram square thing there, contrasting with the round bit there. So that was quite nice to start off with, I thought. Let me tell you what I wrote about it. I said there are 3 clues in this image which could help you guess where it is. 2 of them go together because the gentleman looks like he's trying to be what it says in the street sign, which I believe is just a little too little to read. Then there's the shop sign, which is so famous in Paris, this is true, that anyone who has been in this corner of the city can't fail to have noticed it. So, do you know what the street is and what the shop is as well? Alright, let me show you a bigger version of this picture. There it is. Now you might just be able to see that it says Rue des Anglais, the street of the English, which is nice to find in the middle of Paris. Where exactly is it in Paris? Well, let me take you over to the map. It's here. There you see the Ile de la Cité, and we're gonna zoom straight down to the 5th Latin Quarter, more or less. Metro Maubert Mutualité. I'm going to click on this, which gives me the option of going to the street view straight away. Something strange will happen here because Google have pretty much screwed up the street view here. It says Rue Domat, I think, and I'm looking around and that looks very much like Boulevard Saint-Germain to me, not Rue Domat at all. So I know that if I sneak down this little street here and put myself down here, for some reason Google will finally take me to where I want to be. Now it's telling me it's a Boulevard Saint-Germain, even though I supposedly left it. Going around there, one of the biggest boulevards, and there you see where we're going. That's the street, that's the bar, that's the shop, that's the bar that I took it in. Let's just go back to the picture. Now have a look at that, and see if you can see where that was. Okay, well it's just around the corner. Let's have a look. Zoom in on there. You might just be able to see it says Au Vieux Campeur, the old camper. It's not actually the old camper, it's like at the place of the old camper. And there you can see the sign that was in my photograph. This is the bar that the picture was taken in. Let's see if I can just get a shot which is a bit closer to the picture itself. There we are. So now you can probably see that section there is what my picture shows you, except it was taken from inside the bar. There he is, and that's the sign of Au Vieux Campeur, the old camper, and it's an old guy marching through the hills with a rather nice white beard, which is quite suitable for Christmas, which is, if you're not watching this video at Christmas, when I made it, won't mean anything to you. And he's got a big staff there, a bit like Gandalf. And here's this chap who probably isn't English at all, but he just looks very English in his little suit and upright demeanour, which reminds me of Mr. Bean. Right, so that was Paris Photo Quiz number 6 from the blog. There it is, Jolly Good Old Chap, as I called it. And now let's move on to number 7. Okay, so going from this to this. Any ideas, people? It's a pretty mysterious one. I'm calling it the Holy Stone, for reasons which will become apparent when you look at the top of this rather sinister obelisk type thing. There's a hole in the middle of this stone, and even if you can read what's written on the stone, it may not necessarily make it clearer for you. And believe me, I'm not going to be the one to tell you, because you've got to work that out for yourself. It was obviously taken on a snowy day, one of the very few, perhaps the only one that I've seen this year. It seems to be in a park, because look, there's a lovely lamppost which it towers over, and there's a bench with a nice row of snow along it. There's snow along those two there. It looks a bit of a weathered old thing, doesn't it? With the stone getting a bit old and a bit weather beaten there. It looks like a fairly extensive park, because you can see it going into the distance there. Big stretches of lawn covered in white there. And this is truly worthy of something out of the Da Vinci Code, I would say. I mean, it would make you think that it's got a certain possibly a functional purpose, because if it were just a statue or just an obelisk, it doesn't normally have something as strange as this circle in it. You know, I mean, it suggests that something would go through it, or, you know, I can almost imagine something out of Indiana Jones, or something where the sun reaches a certain point in the sky and shines through that hole, and the beam goes down just on one day per year or every 5,000 years and illuminates some secret opening somewhere. So as you can see, I've definitely been watching too many kids' adventure films there. Right, so that's the Paris quiz for today. Do you know where it is and what it is, and what does it symbolise? What's it for? If it's for anything, what's it for? And anything else you might know about that. Feel free, and hopefully you will leave your comments on the blog to parissetmefree.blogspot.com. Feel free to come along and leave comments even after I've created the next video, which will give you the answer to this, and set a new poser, a new conundrum. So, thanks very much for watching. This has been Paris Set Me Free, the Paris Photo Quiz. See you next time in Paris. Bye bye now.
Depuis que je suis à Paris, le jour et la nuit, je suis gris. J'ai compris la douceur de vivre, je suis fou de joie, je suis ivre. Depuis que je suis à Paris.